Angie is in her pajamas and going to Zoom in.
Great. She ill? No,
She's in the Netherlands.
Oh.
And it's 1 o'clock.
Hello.
Oh, you're not in your, I told everybody you're gonna be in your pajamas.
I'm half in pajamas.
Think we're ready to start? Yep. Pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, 4 out of 5 are here. Any changes to the agenda?
Well, we just. I had listed on there, I was absent, but I'm here.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
No, that's fine, just for a note of that,
No, let's make that, I'll make that correction.
Abs-
no, there's a separate. hole
Sorry about
there.
Okay.
Yeah,
What are we changing to? No, just Andrew's absent, both absent, sorry, I didn't read.
yeah,
Agenda's okay, approve the meeting minutes from September 27th, everybody's read it, any comment? So moved. All in favor? Yeah,
Aye.
I'll second it. Opposed? None. Any other public comment from previous hearings other than tonight? Okay, very good, and if there's none, new business. Move on to 739 Glacier.
Yes.
I want to start off with a few comments on this. My opinion. It appears the application meets our consistent guidelines for approval. In fact, it improves the front and west side setbacks without further encroaching in other setbacks. So that's my 2 cents in starting this up. It looked like it was a well planned out, in my opinion, design that meets our setbacks and meets our criteria for approval.
Angie, can you hear?
I can, yes.
Had 2 questions, I guess. And it was unclear to me. Carol said it was clear to her, but the screened-in porch is in fact included into your square foot for the FAR.
It is, yes.
It was,
Yeah, Carol actually put, I think she added some square footages together and it still meets it meets the 18% land area ratio and the 29% floor area ratio, and that includes the screen porch.
I saw that on her revised drawing that she sent out to us, but that was a question because it said optional in one of your drawings, I guess.
It's optional whether it's a screen porch or if it's going to be like an enclosed 3-season porch.
Okay,
So the roof will be there regardless. It's just a matter of the walls, what the walls will look like.
very good. The other question I had, and I didn't see it, but were you thinking about putting a generator in that home?
We were, yeah, it's on the side adjacent to the garage. It's on the east side of the garage.
Okay,
And it shows in the floor plan, and I think
I see the air conditioner.
it doesn't show it on the elevation, but it does show it on the main floor plan. Right adjacent to the garage, and then the service door. It's right adjacent to that.
Bear with us.
Sure. It would be on PG2, page 2 of the drawings.
It's on
oh, here it is.
this one and the generator right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's on the west side, south side,
east.
east side.
Yeah, we had a couple applicants that didn't include that in their request and they had to come back, I guess, for some of that.
Oh, okay.
And you don't want to come back. Okay,
That looks like that's in line with where the gas on fireplace would be as well. This specific dimension there from it, it looks like it's listed from the side of the house, not from the generator. Or is there a dimension there for the setback from the gas fireplace where that extends out to the property line? Give the dimension from where the extension from the structure of the home itself that bounces out where the gas fireplace is noted to the property.
So it should be, I think that fireplace only extends out about 2 feet, so. I think our setback's 16.25 feet, so it's roughly 14.25 feet from the property line.
side you got 15.69.
Yeah. So then that would be, the existing is 15.69, so the proposed then would be less than that.
The well, only where the fireplace is.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, the remainder of it would be at 16.25.
Okay, so what,
We can bump that fireplace in, so it can go into the house and eliminate that little bump out.
Well, where my question was based on, is that looked to be approximately the same dimension out as where the generator setback or extension would be in the house.
That's probably pretty close.
And we're getting questions about that more regularly now.
The generator,
What is considered a structure and not, right? So
right?
I think it behooves us to identify that and come up with a dimension on exactly what that is.
Unfortunately, I do not have a scale with me here. Otherwise I could probably scale it off, but I can,
Have a scale, let me go look.
yeah, I don't have unfortunately, I don't have a drawing here that's to scale and I don't have a scale. So, but I think it's probably pretty close to 2 to 2.5 feet.
the other question I guess I have is your outdoor shower covered?
Yeah, we've eliminated that, so we're not even gonna do that anymore.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, very good.
yep.
We're waiting on Carol to bring a scale drawing here.
Okay,
I can make a comment prior to Carol coming back. I really appreciate how well marked out the property was.
Yep.
Details and the flags there, that's very helpful.
great.
I think we like to go and observe the property before we meet. And there's really a variance in when we arrive at properties, how well marked they are. So I'd like to
Okay,
thank you guys on that, and I appreciate that. It makes our observation of things much easier.
well, I'll make sure I tell Kevin at Arbor Land Consultants.
Okay,
He was very helpful.
I appreciate that though, thank you.
Yeah, I'll pass the information on to him.
Yeah, the stakes were well marked. We didn't have to guess.
Okay,
2 feet.
2 feet,
thanks, Carol.
so we should include that in the minutes, I would imagine.
Yeah, what can you set back?
The fireplace comes out 2 feet, is that correct, Carol?
Yep, 2 feet and the generator is 2 feet.
So then,
And the air conditioner is gonna be on that side as well?
I think so. The one thing I think they're talking about, I don't know if this is even possible, putting it in the crawl space, but I don't know if that's possible.
Generator,
But otherwise, yes, it would be right there. I don't know if that's. They don't show it on the drawing.
right, need to exhaust all that heat.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like it.
in my opinion, this is very straightforward, other than these few questions, so do we need her to explain the
Well,
application or anything on this?
I guess my question would be then the minimum side yard setback, if it is 2 feet less, then we're not using the existing as 15.69, and we're actually. The proposal is 2 feet less than that now, correct?
It would be.
Well, that and the proposed gas fireplace, which
The bump out.
they said they could maybe move that in, but then we still
have the generator.
have the generator consideration. I think we should discuss.
I've never had heartburn with generators and stuff unless they're placed improperly too close to someone's neighboring window. I think in the past, when somebody's had a fireplace and it bumped out on a small area like that, we allowed that to occur. Tom, you remember?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I don't remember that.
It's usually noted, you note it, and you can actually, this is up to you, but you can, say the setback is 15.69 from the exterior wall, and then note the bump outs. And that way, you kind of got those to be determined that it's an exception or it's a structure, or however you want to treat it, which is next conversation, but.
Cause it is a reasonable distance on that side, you still have.
It is, but that, when we talk about bump outs, like, then we need to start defining bump outs too, like what are the dimensions of those? I'm just trying to be consistent with.
Is it gonna be like a bowl window type, if you're talking bump outs, it was like a bowl window without no footing or anything underneath it. Do you do that?
Oh, yeah, right.
Same type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't have real big issue. Please explain how you think it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's another way of looking at it too, without a footing under it, it just suspended in midair. I'm just wondering if that's something
I
that,
think that's a pretty valid suggestion. I like, if there's a footing to it or not.
if
If there is a footing to it, then that applies. The measurement should be taken from there.
full windows that hang over.
Right. And so I'm not too overly concerned about the extension going out from a generator, as you suggested just a short while ago, Steve. That's not too concerning to me. I am a little bit concerned about the extension of this, where the gas fireplace bumps out. Is there a footing to that, or
There's not,
there is not?
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
I mean, if that's the only sticking point, it's not critical that I think we could just push it so it's flush with the rest of the house and it can just be vented directly out of the side of the house.
I like your observation about the footing. And I kind of agree with that idea.
So you're in agreement that it doesn't have a footing on it, that we don't count it as a setback? Part? Is that what you're saying? Or
Yes.
you want her to bring it in? Fine, you too.
Yeah.
I don't know, just how far can you hang something out there? And not be classified, can you hang something out there? I'm not a builder, but could you hang something out there 4 foot or so?
Right.
That's my only question. I don't have a problem with this 2 foot.
Right.
What happens if someone decides to do something?
I understand.
I'm just.
It's all, the limits are always pushed. Exactly. Perhaps it's worth us noting that, as was Carolyn suggested earlier, that we consider the 15.69 and say, okay, well, we are acknowledging that there is a fireplace, that will be permitted, will have no foundation. To it, that will extend beyond that, as well as the pad, and the generator itself. And maybe we should say what those dimensions should be. I think you had suggested it was 2 feet, but if we.
Yeah, I don't know the exact dimensions of the generator, but I would imagine it's close to 2 feet, 1.5 to 2 feet in depth.
I would think it's all of that too. Usually there's a space between the generator and the house itself.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know what the code is for the generator in terms of distance from the house, but I don't think it's far. I think it's pretty close.
Feet at least, I would think.
Yeah.
But I'm comfortable myself with noting those particulars. Just as you had suggested, what happens when the next one comes in? Well, we're just sticking the fireplace out 5 feet.
Right. And we're always really consistent with what we do.
I think that's
100%.
important. I think that's.
But we also have we also can interpret what we think is too much pushing things. Cause we're at 16 feet. I mean, that's pretty good distance compared to most of these houses that we see here. You know, so I don't personally think that the small bump out or the generator is an issue when you're that far away from it. I mean, how many do we have that are 3 or 5 feet? You know, we go,
We have some.
yeah.
Right. I do very much appreciate too that the house is being set back further from the lake and actually increasing. Neighbors apparently on both sides will have less obstruction from where the structure is
Right.
compared to what's there right now.
Yep.
I like that feature a lot.
And you're pulling it away from the west property line also.
Right.
Yeah.
The structure itself is actually moving a little closer, but they are decreasing that because of the garage.
Yep.
Right, so.
Right,
The living
right.
structure has moved a little closer, but the whole structure and the total has increased or decreased,
Right.
I'm not concerned with the 2 feet. I agree with everything you guys said. I think going forward though, Carol, I think if there's not a threat like that, we should measure the setback to that extension. So we're not having this debate.
That's gonna be the next.
That's our next
discussion.
Well, I'm talking about the chimney, not the generator. We're talking about the chimney.
Again, that we need to talk about some of these things because we
Right.
haven't noted, we've always
I think
noted.
the generators are discussion, but what I'm saying is when the house wall goes like that, juts out on that print, that's where the setback should be measured for the Davenport from where it juts out. And we'll have that. It's another
Next
topic.
discussion, because you got an example of what
We'll
you
have
did
that
in
discussion.
2017 with the fireplace, so we'll talk about that. But thank you, that will be noted.
Okay, is there any other questions from you guys here? I'm good with it.
No.
Public comment.
I sent all my people there, so there should be a couple.
No, you can't see, there's 4 people in the back of the room holding up signs. Oh, no. Sorry.
Yeah, approve it.
Sorry. So, and you are, I'm sorry.
I'm John Budinger, I'm her father.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
We're sorry for that.
sir.
yeah.
Okay.
Jim Bryan, I'm just here.
Oh, Jim, okay.
I'm a resident of the lake.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we can, go through the standards. Does you have another comment?
No, will you note, points of discussion we had in your summary? At the end,
I will add that to the motion. That's fine. And
Yeah.
if you guys.
Yeah.
Help, we can do that. Okay? Okay, number 1, special conditions and circumstances exist that are unique to the land structures or buildings involved. They're not applicable to other land structures or buildings in the same district. If such unique circumstances exist, that favors granting the variance. Mark?
yes.
No?
Yes.
Yes. Myself, yes. 2, the special circumstances and conditions on which the variance request is based do not result from the actions of the applicant. If the circumstances are not self-created, that favors granting variance.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. 3, literal interpretation of this chapter would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other property owners in the same district under the terms of this chapter. If applicant would be deprived of rights given owners in the same district that favors granting the variance.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. 4, granting the variance requested will not confer upon the applicant any special privilege that is denied by this chapter to other land structures or buildings in the same district. If the variance would not confer special privilege on applicant, that favors granting the variance.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. 5, the existence of non-conforming uses of neighboring land structures or buildings in the same district permitted, or non-conforming uses of land structures or buildings in other districts, and non-conforming structures shall not be considered ground for the issuance of the variance. The variance is not based on the fact that there are non-conforming uses or structures in the same district, and that grant favors granting the variance.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. 6, variance granted must be the minimum variance that will make possible reasonable use of the land, building, or structure. If request seeks the minimum variance needed to make a reasonable use of the land structure, then that favors granted variance. Yes. 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 Yep. The variance granted must be in harmony with the intent of this chapter and will not be injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to the public interest. The request would not injure neighborhood and not injure the public interest, and that favors granting variance.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Okay. Just have to make a motion and we'll let you get to bed.
Thank you. Andy's just waking up. I'm going to bed, so
Oh, no.
he's in China, so that's.
Holy criminy. Motion to approve the variance for 739 Glacier Road as described in the application. This approval includes justification and staff report, as well as discussions and findings during the hearing. We want to say that the ZBA recognizes the approximately 2-foot fireplace and generator encroachment, right? On the east side. Yep. You have that. The ZBA recognizes the approximately 2-foot fireplace and generator encroachment on the east side. I'll second it.
Yeah.
Mark?
Yes.
Tom? Yes. 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 You're good to go.
Congratulations.
Great, thank you.
Are you gonna come tomorrow to pick up your permit?
No. I'll send my dad for that. Anything that needs to be picked up.
And
Better get him something nice for Christmas.
and he gets.
I know.
I-
I owe him big time.
Not gonna be here for Christmas, could be in Texas.
Holy-
These people.
Are they running from the law or what?
Shh, don't tell anybody.
All right, I think we're all set with this one, so.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Is Carol trying to say something, or
No, I'm just to say thank you very much.
thank you? I appreciate all your time.
Well done, application. Makes it easy on us. Thank you. Well thought out.
Thank you.
You guys did a great job.
Thank you. We put a lot of work into it to try and meet.
A couple of years ago, weren't you?
We did. We've been working on this for about 4 years, but it's just a couple of different iterations of the project. So
Well, it's a good thing you didn't have to build the whole thing. You have it
yeah,
done, you know.
that's the plan. The hope. So
I think the 53-foot setbacks there, so they can have more of the cornhole game set up. And everybody will.
We'd be glad you did. Everybody likes to pay this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, guests and company over, you'll like to be joining them.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely. Okay, thank you. We're all set with
All
that.
right.
We have a further discussion on some
right,
other
good
issues
night.
here.
No.
thank you.
Thanks.
Ni hao and Shishi. Thank you.
Oh, Andy just got.
Oh, I just woke up.
Yeah, Andy's in here
Thanks.
too. All right, thanks, guys.
Good night.
Night.
Okay, our next discussion item is, we started before a little bit, we're talking about the generators and setbacks, air conditioners and setbacks. Carol is requesting that people go to the ZBA if they're within the setbacks now. I personally don't have an issue with the air conditioners and stuff and generators in the setbacks. My concern is that if somebody's putting them in, that they're not too close to the neighbor's window. And keeping them, air conditioning is probably worse than a generator, because that goes all the time in the summertime.
Exactly.
Less loud, but
With the other guys running air conditioner too, right? That's, we can sit here and argue all day about which is worse, which is.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, we should think about it, because some people might not have a generator because they're only there part-time. Yeah. I don't know how that works anymore, if there's a lot of people there, you know, all year round or what. I would sure be upset, yeah. That was right outside my window and I went without power, which is my choice. But still, I agree, it's in the back of a house, and it's probably more logical than having the front, because there's something more to. Right. And
the only time I remember until today, we talked about this discussion, Carol brought the example of it, was that one house on the southwest corner, long, narrow house.
Y'all have one there, so,
Yeah,
and
right here.
it speaks to, fireplaces too. So
Yeah.
you wanna look at that
And,
site plan.
and then the issue that we had on that one is they're putting a generator where the generator currently was, and they're rebuilding the house, tearing it apart. And I think we all pointed out and said, this is right by these people's bedroom windows. Since you're starting from scratch, put your generator on the back of your house, so that you're the only one disrupted by it.
And it wasn't next to the neighbors, you know, the neighbors weren't, there wasn't, the next door neighbors where they were putting it, their house was in front.
Huh?
So, the next door neighbor's house wasn't near their house.
And,
I didn't follow that.
yeah, I thought I remember it was, but it was
I don't think
currently
it was.
right there, and they're gonna put it in the same place. And it was right by the neighbor's.
No, where they put
window.
it, behind the house, I didn't think it was next to the neighbors, the new neighbor. The new location, I didn't
The
think.
new
was-
location.
The new
was fine.
location, I'm sorry.
The old location was right by the neighbor's
Right.
house over here, and it been loud, you know.
And then when you
you're
look at the
not
site
gonna move.
plan, that is where the fireplace is. So speaking to Ed's question about fireplaces.
Yep.
That's where the fireplace was
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
Because they didn't have one before, if I recall.
It was a
It was
very,
a home, it was a tear down, and so they put the fireplace,
and the next door neighbor's house was only a few feet from the property line.
right?
You know, with generator too, not only have the noise consideration, you have exhaust consideration.
You have exhaust considered.
As compared to, for instance, if I'm about, well, the air conditioner is simply exhausting more air.
Yeah.
It's nothing that harms somebody.
Yeah.
Might annoy them.
Well, Ed's neighbor had, the neighbor next to them have a unapproved, super large industrial generator that ran for several days, and they couldn't sleep. And then it finally got to the point, all these CO2 alarms went off, and the fire department had to come down. And they shut down the generator. Robin DeGrasse.
Oh.
And it's all gone now,
It's gone.
but the guy put in an unapproved generator, industrial, and then.
He installed it, it wasn't portable.
No, oh, no, it was twice the size of any of the ones.
It
wasn't powerful.
It was basically installed there.
And he didn't pay his power bill. He was running his house off his generator 24/7.
That was 2014, because I got called in on
Yeah.
that one. That was the
So
big
then,
deal about generators.
When
that I was
carbon
first
dioxide
on the-
went off, fire department came, they tested their kids who all had high levels of carbon dioxide in the bloodstream.
And they all had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, so but, point made is exhausted.
that? I just got here, like, it was like, you know, welcome to Sylvan Township, period. You get the-
Yeah, so.
We have a lot of those.
Anyway, it was a huge generator, it was a very dirty generator, it wasn't like the new one, so it was like something that was 40 years old that he swiped off the construction site. So, I mean, it could have powered a lot, it was a huge ship. But, I mean, that's the other thing to think
Again,
of.
well, maybe we should start making a list for our concerns about one is exhaust. You know, because if we do make, I don't want to say exemption, but basically a policy that we generally follow. If we had some specific things that we always try to consider. in that evaluation, so, noise to be adjacent, certainly, pollution, neighbor, I think would be another thing.
But it's a two-part question. One is when they're doing something new. The second thing that Carol's starting to request people to do is come to the ZBA if it's within a setback. And I don't remember until recently us ever having something like that.
But anything in a setback,
Got it,
anything,
but we have to define what a structure is.
Well,
I agree, you say what a
Yeah.
structure is. And I don't think that a generator or air conditioner is a structure. My opinion, 1 out of 5.
okay, giving.
I'm
So if you
for-
read this is what, take.
No, I'm,
ahead.
right.
Let's not give it away in.
We're waiting until after this
Yeah.
here. Anyhow, right, so we're.
So, yeah, so it's a two-part question. One is when someone brings it to us and they're gonna tear down a house, what are they gonna do with it? If they're gonna tear down a house, having it moved to a reasonable place is something reasonable to do.
You can make that
Secondly-
decision, right?
Secondly, is when somebody wants to put a new generator in, should they come to us? And there should be just guidelines for installation.
I would think that's perfect one for the administrator. I think it should
There
be.
is no administrative review.
Was that,
There is no administrative
is that a
review.
done deal then?
That is, administrative review is planning commission only.
Was that the final outcome of that?
Yep.
But you said it could be
No, I did,
if the ordinance is updated.
no, I said, we asked the township attorney, can we do this for PC and ZBA? Yeah, and he said, no, you can only do it for planning commission, only.
Forward that to us.
Yep, it is
But-
only planning commission.
But we can determine what a structure is.
You
If
can
we
make an
determine that it's not a
interpretation.
structure, then it doesn't have to go in front of the ZBA.
My next question then for you is going to be, what is the minimum, then that setback? If it's an encroachment, where do you limit it? What if they wanna go out 2 feet? What if they wanna go out 5 feet? What if you got an 8-foot setback from your neighbor and they wanna go out 5 feet? Who
My
makes that
opinion, there's
call?
gotta be a choke point where somebody here can make that decision. and tell
That's
them what
not,
to do on
that's
the
not the
guide.
zoning
Hold on,
administrator, yeah,
please
okay,
let me continue.
all right.
There's gotta be a choke point here where somebody reasonable can make a reasonable decision, instead of making an applicant come in front of us and wait 2 months and get all this, spend another $1,000 for a survey for a generator, because more and more people have generators. It's just gonna happen. So, I mean, if a reasonable person can make a reasonable decision about where it should be, that's where it should be, instead of getting this form together for a generator. My opinion.
I've already asked all that. I have already gone that route with all. And it's like, you have a 20-foot encroachment. You have 20 feet side yard setbacks.
Again, if we don't define it as a structure, it doesn't fall under what you're saying. You're
Okay.
talking two different things.
All right,
CBA can interpret what a structure is.
okay,
You
all
can
right.
interpret the structure to be a
okay.
air conditioner or a
Okay,
generator.
that's fine.
We've never made
That's
that
fair. That's
interpretation.
That's
So
fair.
that's up to us to make that interpretation, and
It is.
it's all, there's things to think about, because the key
But I
point here
think
is
what
what,
you need,
Carol, please.
okay, sorry.
The key point here is we determine what a structure is. If we don't determine that a generator is a structure, then it doesn't have to come in front of us. But there should be a choke point where somebody that's reasonable can look at the drawing where it's proposed to be and say, don't put it here, put it here. I hate to see somebody spend $2,000 in weeks or months to go to this to install a generator when Kaka or somebody here can make a reasonable decision about the placement of the generator.
That, I
My
will,
2 cents.
again, so I will tell you, the attorney has said that is not the call of the zoning administrator to do. That is what you guys do, because you have a 20-foot requirement. That isn't something that I can make or any zoning administrator makes. That is your decision. You have an encroachment, period.
But if it's not a structure, there's no encroachment.
Then you have to write it in the ordinance. You have to then put that in the ordinance.
Where does it say that this is a structure in the ordinance? Your interpretation,
not my
Well, it
interpretation.
says any,
You read it.
I got it.
said erected or placed with a fixed location on the surface of the ground. Or affixed to something having a fixed location on the surface of the ground.
So if I put a
I
bird
think
feeder,
generally that.
so if I put a bird feeder out, I got a fixed location on the ground. I'm just saying.
That's a bit of a stretch, Steve.
It is, Steve.
That's a bit of a stretch.
But it, you know, some of the language in there, I think makes some sense, you know, that it's, constructed, erected, and placed with a fixed location. Those are very definitive words. And really don't give us much leeway unless we make an exception to it or redefine it.
And that is, the exception is the variance.
Right.
And that's exactly what Paul said.
Right.
Is when this is what our ordinance says about structures. Now, when the Lake District is getting rewritten, all of you can have input when that Lake District is getting rewritten. And you're addressing the setbacks, perhaps you say to the exterior wall, except for generators, fireplaces, air conditioners, not to exceed 4 feet or 5 feet from the exterior structure. That can be written into the ordinance, but the way it's written now, there's no latitude.
That can be a slippery slope too, though. When we say except for if it's 4 feet like this for a generator, but there's only 5 feet on the side of the house. If you and somebody, you know, they're like, well, wait a second, you're doing this and you're giving these people 4 feet. How come I can't have 4 feet, even though it goes basically to the property line? That's just a slippery slope. And creates opportunity for.
Think of those places that, you know, they've got 33-foot lots.
I'm surprised they come in and get a permit. Nobody does. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, they do. I have
Yeah,
issued
they
17.
do all the time.
I have issued 17. Concord will not issue them an electrical. If you hook it up with somebody, you know, that's not gonna do a permit, that's up to them.
Yeah.
You know, that's up to
People
them.
had in the past.
Oh,
Well,
right,
in the past,
I
that's
understand
changed a
that.
lot, right?
Things have changed a lot, but they will not issue a permit until I give them a zoning permit. That's why all this stuff is now coming to you guys.
Okay, I think we're gonna beat this one up until Angela comes here. We have, is that okay? You wanna cut off discussion? Till Angela's here in December? Sure. We'll probably just go through the same thing. The last thing that we have is on the agenda is the approval of the schedule for next year. Everybody see that?
I've got Mark's response for it. you
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna be out of town for definitely the month of September, possibly October, but I think I'm tentatively planning on being back now for October.
Okay, I'll talk to Kathy and
That's
see if we can get a ZBA alternate.
Our other trips are, I mean, even if there's 4, I mean, that's not the
Right,
worst thing,
right.
you know.
Okay. Anybody want to adjourn?
So move.
Wait, look at your schedule for the meeting date. So December 6th is, there's 2 projects. One's a generator and one's a whole house on Shoreview. And then the next regular scheduled meeting is December 20th. I haven't gotten any applications unless somebody, you know, sends me something, because today is the deadline for the December 20th meeting.
See some headlights pulling.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so just
So
to
that
let
will
you know,
probably-
and then, you know, at December 6th, you can decide to cancel.
That'd be fine with me.
Okay,
Thank you.
January, I probably won't be here.
okay.
All set? Yep. Motion adjourned.
So move.
All right. All in favor? All right.
You didn't address the fireplaces for Ed, though.
Pardon me?
You didn't address the fireplaces for Ed. The distance, you know, measuring the distance. You asked about the distance, and so I think that's a discussion. Parts of our discussion. Yeah, we can talk.
Back up in December. We tabled it.
Yeah.
Part of me agree with Steve and I'm talking.